Hello, welcome to Valley Guides Podcast. This is Greg Dyke. I'm actually excited tonight. I've got a topic I'm eager to dive into. I don't have the answer figured out. I've got part of the puzzle maybe. I've been thinking about it. I'm working on a solution. So I need your help. I need you to tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what you do when you get in this situation. Let me describe a word first. Have you ever heard of the word doldrum? For the just listening, is Doldrum, doldrum. I'd heard of it, of course, but do you know what it means? I had to look it up to be sure. It's a nautical term to describe a still zone, a windless still zone that circles the globe at the equator. Something about the combination of the winds coming down from the north, up from the south, and they meet at the equator where there's intense heat. It actually pushes it all up, not across. And because it's not going across, there's really not much surface wind, and sailing ships can get stuck there evidently for weeks. So the doldrum, that's why you feel like you're in the doldrum. I've been working out the problem in these podcasts and in my blogging. I've kind of been working out the problem of the long middle of a poorly defined project. You know, what a job or a project or a season that goes on too long and the end is unclear. Maybe the goal is even uncertain. You can get stuck in a doldrum if you don't really know what to do next. Or maybe you do have some ideas, but it's just not, you don't see the results, you don't see the why. So what can be done? How do you get out of a doldrum? I think a key of it can be found in Isaac Newton's first two laws of physics. An object at rest tends to stay at rest, that's number one. And number two, an object in motion tends to stay in motion. Of course, we aren't talking about wind anymore, we're talking about you and me. We're talking about people and emotions. Whatever you're doing, you tend to keep doing. Now, Newton's law also applies to yard work, exercise, cleaning your room, watching TV, or eating carbs. Whatever you're doing, you tend to keep doing. I like to say that first begets second. The personal doldrum has its own inertia. You become a person at rest with lack of direction. You'll remain at rest unless acted on by force. One of my bosses or supervisors that was difficult, but I had fondly remembering, he was a forceful individual. He was big. He was like 6'4", loud, but whenever projects would get stalled or get stuck, he would overcome inertia with force. He'd become pushy and loud and overbearing. I didn't actually like the style, but it worked. Projects move forward because sometimes you just get stuck. So in a normal work life, you might have a supervisor like mine, or you might have an alarm clock or a project deadline. Often we have to supervise ourselves, and that's what I'm excited about. What happens when it's only you that's watching? You're only watching you. Nobody else really knows. We need to find ways to apply force to get us in motion. I can think of a few ways to get this done, and here's where I need help. I'm very interested in how you do it, ways that you accomplish this. Number one, we like to be consistent. We want to appear congruent. You can use this in our favor if you announce publicly the plans or goals, like run a marathon or stay on a 100-day challenge, which is what I'm currently trying to do. And trust me, I didn't want to do it today. I wanted to skip a day, take a break. My body hurts from the exercise. I'm running out of ideas for the podcast that I think are interesting. So I wanted to appear consistent. I didn't want to let anybody down, even though I'm the only one that knows probably. But it helps. That desire to be consistent helps me. So that's one of the ways. Another way is change your emotions. You've heard the phrase change your behavior, change your results, but change your emotions. Music can help. If you have an exciting playlist, you can listen to your favorite motivational book too, or speakers. Get a little emotional charge. And what about short sprints? Attack something for a very short period of time. Maybe your office is a disaster, or you need to refresh your resume and you just don't know where to start, or maybe you need to do some writing. Set a timer for 15 minutes. Do what you can. Make sure to stop at the 15. To reward yourself for a job well done. Do it again in a few hours or tomorrow. You might be surprised. Newton's law could kick in and you might want to continue. The hard part's the starting. To change from the rest to in motion. It takes force. Number 4 is know when it's best. Know when is best. What time is best for you? For me, I'm best probably between 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's probably my best times. Anything important needs to happen before lunch. So there's just 3 or 4 strategies to help get over this inertia problem, the doldrums, to get out of it, to get going. When you're not really doing the things you could do that are in your own self-interest, you're probably stuck somehow. Ask for help. Get a buddy to help you hold you accountable. Remember though, you don't need a shoulder to cry on, you need a foot to kick.